host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast. I am in a very frigid Virginia Beach, Virginia. 22 degrees, feels like 9. We're prepping for a huge storm here in the local area. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. John is back in Las Vegas, where they're expecting about 2 to 3 feet of sunshine. Those rat son of a guns back there, they're enjoying some good weather. And joining me today on my show, we got a couple of guests scheduled for today. Believe it or not, they are going to be connected. It'll make sense as we progress. Tim Ritter joins me today. He is the executive director of the Family Fun Experience Theater here in Virginia Beach. If you're not familiar, the exact location, he is on 16th Street between Atlantic and Pacific Avenue. Beautiful view of the water. Good morning, Tim. Thank you for joining me on what I know for you is a very busy day today at the theater. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Aaron, and hello to everybody. Yeah, we have a busy day with a couple of shows scheduled and Restaurant Week finishing up this weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah, how's it been? How's it been for Restaurant Week for you guys? I know that I just saw a spot on my TV today that Portsmouth is having a Restaurant Week now. What's Restaurant Week like? Talk about that.
Yeah, the cities try to keep them from overlapping each other. So Virginia Beach is sort of kicking it off this year, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's 4 years in a row that we've had a winter storm hit somewhere in the middle of Restaurant Week, so that's been interesting. So I guess you can predict the storm by when Restaurant Week is. Yeah. But we've had a really good week. We've sort of shifted. We launched this place a little over almost 6 years ago now, and wanted to keep it very affordable for families. Didn't intend to be dinner theater because the expectation is a piece of rubbery chicken and a salad and everybody gets the same thing. And we added on this barbecue brand a little over a year ago that's fantastic, Moe's Barbecue and Grill here. And the food is so good. So we've done two things with the restaurant. We've shifted some of our show times up to the evening shows up to more of a 6 p.m. So it's in a dinner hour. And the challenge to us in Restaurant Week is to include for that price dinner and a show, and we were able to make that work with a fantastic dinner and a great show, so that way you get good food and family entertainment all together for one price. So that we're going to continue that after Restaurant Week for the rest of the year.
Excellent. I love that. Before we go any further, I want to let our audience know and remind them that you can be watching us on 3 YouTube channels, 3 Facebook channels, and of course on Sundays at 1 p.m. on dbtv.tv. Aaron's Hour is available there. I want to share also ffxshow.org is the website. I mean, when you go onto this site, and we're going to use the word theater because that's what it is. Don't think of, and for all of you back in the Las Vegas area, don't think of Smith Center here in Virginia Beach. Don't necessarily think of Sandler Theater or Zyder's Theater in terms of what you would think of as a theater, because the FFX, as it's affectionately called locally, theater is a very bright, gamey, beautiful stage, but it's open and it's colorful. And you can see that based on Tim's shirt. You can see their logo. This is not your typical like Broadway theater. So talk about the concept about this, because obviously, first of all, I want to again point out in the website, you're a .org. So you're actually a nonprofit theater that's bringing all of these family-friendly, blends of theater and games. And you walk in and every table has board games on it and puzzles and all sorts of things. Talk about the concept 6 years ago, why you went away from a traditional theater to this kind of experience.
Right. And my background is in counseling and education and ministry, working with families. And we had a dream a number of years ago, before we were in Virginia Beach, about a different kind of experience that would really connect families together. And it really is about theater, but Shakespeare's quote was, "All the world's a stage," and we take that literally here. So there's a stage up front, but the actors, performers don't tend to stay on stage very much. But we also treat the whole area as a stage, and that means that the couch, and we have some couch seating as a lot of our seating, the couch or the chairs that your family is seated on for the show, our goal is not that you sit in the dark and watch a spectacle together, because that is a shared experience, but it's not really an experience that really draws family members together. And we wanted to connect and strengthen family relationships, so we've sort of been pioneering a new way of doing some theater that's interactive, where somebody on stage might call out and get a response from an audience. we're actually doing things that engage the audience at a different level. And really, we're looking to see interaction happen between family members during the show. So they're really spending time doing something together, not just watching something together. So that applies to a whole variety of different kinds of shows. We've, in just about 6 years now, created over 100 different shows.
Wow. And of course, I had the opportunity as part of the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce to pay a visit to the theater. You and I met back in October at the big Mega Mixers Expo that the Chamber put on, and then finally had an opportunity to come down when the Chamber had an event at the theater a couple of months ago. And I was very delighted to walk in, and you can't help but when you walk in, have a smile on your face because of how bright and how just light it is, how open it is to everybody coming in. And obviously that's intentional and providing that family feeling when you walk in.
Right. The building is a historic building. It goes back about 80 years here,
Wow.
50s and 60s. It was the favorite hangout of Frank Sinatra. And so it was the biggest supper club on the East Coast between Miami and New York and Philly area, where he was traveling frequently. So he would stop here, have a Jack Daniels, and sing on stage and possibly gamble with Jersey Mafia in the back room. But we won't get into the story.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. We don't want to add any
there was a little bit of Vegas here. It was called the Golden Garter. It was trying to have a Vegas-y feel back then.
Really?
It's had other things it's been throughout its history here, but we were thrilled in 2020 to be able to bring an interactive theater to life.
Right on. Now, you're not doing this alone. Your wife, Angie, is also the co-founder with you. What is your role in the theater? What is Angie's role? And I also had an opportunity to meet your daughter at the expo. I know she's involved. So talk about the family structure and who's behind running the theater.
Yeah. So I tend to be the person that instigates creating a lot of the shows, but we do it with some teamwork. So they get involved in that, especially Katie. And then we also have an ongoing troupe that meets year round. We'll cast some extra parts occasionally for certain shows, but we do some collaborative stuff with them and really developing some of the more interactive shows. Angie oversees the concessions, the box office, things like that. She doesn't like to get on stage as much. So I will tend to host a lot of the shows or be in them and directly, as well as directing and guiding our troupe and getting them together for the different shows. Katie's role, she has more training in theater as an actress, but also in production and stage management. So she tends to be on the sidelines, interacting and getting very involved in the technical side of it. She's due with our first grandchild later this year, so we're
congrats
hiring some people into that role because we won't make it through the summer season with my main technical person over there. So
okay. Well, congrats
it is a family enterprise. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, congrats on the family addition through Katie. That's great to hear. So one of the things that I've learned since I've been here is that there are a lot of the theater concepts, and I don't want to necessarily mention other names to give others credit while we're talking to you. Do you ever collaborate with some of the other theater ventures that are around town that, whether it's a collaborative effort on a show or whatever? Do you guys work together with some of the other theaters?
Yeah, we've done some collaboration with a couple of theaters. I mean, we don't do traditional Broadway, but we did last 2 summers. We adapted an off-Broadway pirate show called The Greatest Pirate Story Never Told, and they gave us permission to involve some local history like Blackbeard and stuff. It was considered an interactive improv musical comedy, and we told them it wasn't interactive enough, so we blended in more of that. One of the co-producers of that visited us this last summer. We were a little nervous to see if they were okay with everything we adjusted in the show and expanded it with, and he was just delighted to see what all we've done with that particular show. But we've also simple things like Ziders, you mentioned earlier. We partner with them in some of the art things that they do. We've participated in some of their events. They actually host a common casting event every year where at 8, I think it's up to maybe 12 different theater or production companies or troupes come together, and people can try out for their first audition with all of them at the same time. Okay. So there's some good collaboration in this area. Yeah.
Sort of like a panel interview when you have all the different shows there, right?
Yep.
That's good because, the Virginia Beach community is about 400,000 strong in terms of the population. And the theater market, the little theater, so to speak, the more what's the word I want to look for? More close-knit theater family. I mean, I personally, my wife and I love going to those smaller house shows because I think the more intimate, the more cozy, the more interactive. And I think there's a lot to be said to that. But when you have, a half a dozen or so theaters like that, why not work together? Because there's strength in numbers, right? I mean, you're cross promoting, you're supporting each other, but more importantly, you're cross promoting each other's brand. So let's talk about what are the many different kinds of formats of entertainment, whether it's a stage production or whatever. What genres and things are available there at the theater that people can come and be part of?
Yeah. So, as I said, we launched about 6 years ago. So if you count backwards, that was April of 2020, April 1st to be specific, when we took over an oceanfront property to get the theater launched, and it was April Fools on us. Yeah, we were shut down from day one and had to sort of reinvent what interactive meant, because that wasn't the best word for 2020. So we looked at how to really create that interaction with families. And in addition to the one original show we created before we launched the theater, we've expanded out, like I mentioned, pirates and family comedies, improv, all kinds of different shows, holiday extravaganzas that involve a larger cast. One of the special ones there is we do some immersive theater where you're really sitting in the middle of it. We create something called Bethlehem Carol around Christmas time, that it's a 5-course dinner served by the cast to you as the whole thing unfolds around you in the middle of Bethlehem. So that's one where we create an entirely different environment within the theater. That's fully immersive. But in between those, we have a Whodunit Mystery, which is what we've got on tap starting at noon today. We've got one for the 250th anniversary of the Declaration, being celebrated all over and in Virginia as well, especially here with where the first landing happened. So we've got a new one called Ghosts of Virginia Beach. But in that, we sometimes have cast members involved, but also everybody in the audience in solving the murder mystery has to play a role. They don't have to get on stage, memorize lines, but you get to play out a character. So you might be Thomas Jefferson or Meriwether Lewis or somebody like that has some connection to Virginia history. That's a very interesting one because everybody starts out as dead. They're all ghosts. So how do you have a murder mystery when everybody's a ghost? You have to come and experience that yourself. Okay. But then we also invented something that you're called a whole audience game show. And that's just taking all these games. We do a variety of them. Our fun and game shows, the original one. We have different themed ones. We blend some of those games into some of the pirate shows or Whodunit Mysteries as well, because that really takes the focus back to the family and creates that deeper level of interaction around something that's fun.
Right. No, I love it. I love it. What I'd like to do is let's step aside for our first break a few minutes early, because when we come back, I want to get a little more detailed about your schedule, what you have coming up, especially one event in particular that's coming up next Sunday. And if those that are watching want to go on to ffx.org and click on the donate button, there's a little incentive out there for everybody out there. If you want to escape the cold weather here in the Virginia Beach area, FFX Theater has a way to help you get to some warmer climate. You're watching Aaron's Hour with special guest Tim Ritter. John, take us a break. We'll be right back.
Men, are you disappointing your partner in the bedroom? Let's cut to the chase. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? 50% of men between the ages of 40 to 70 experience some form of ED. If you are experiencing ED, there is help without pills or needles to even worry about. Coastal 757 Aesthetics has new technology for men called Apex RF. Apex RF is a modern, non-invasive treatment that uses radio frequency to strengthen tissue from the inside out, resulting in better blood flow to the penis and a happier life partner. Call Coastal 757 Aesthetics at 757-481-4036 for a free consultation. That's 757-481-4036. Coastal 757 Aesthetics. Care for all phases of life.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Is your credit card debt getting you down? When that student loan payment is due, does your cable bill go unpaid? Are you ready to throw in the towel because you do not know how to financially survive? The Miliari Group is ready to educate you on how to get out from under the pile of debt and retire as a tax-free millionaire. They eliminate student and credit card debt and help families set their kids up for success. For more information, call 956-532-2349 or email williamsastria961@gmail.com or scan the QR code to meet with us. The first 100 calls will receive a free will. So, call 956-532-2349 or scan the QR code now and learn how to become the millionaire you always dreamed to be. All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Joining me today is Tim Ritter, Executive Director of Family Fun Experience Theater here in Virginia Beach. And as I alluded to before we went to commercial break, the theater is a nonprofit, and that means they're always looking for ways to help fundraise and be able to continue providing the performances and shows that everybody has come to love and enjoy. So one of the things that they have started doing, and you can kind of see some of the information up on the screen behind me, is that if you go on to ffx.org and ffxshow.org, click on the donate button, you'll see some of the following information, and I'm just going to kind of scoot out of the way so that y'all can see some of the information. Talk about this, if you would, please, there, Tim, what we got going on.
Yeah, so in addition to just regular donations, ongoing donations, or sponsorships, we were thrilled to partner with iLifestyle to be able to offer some travel. So certain donations at really very low price points get you a trip, and that's a trip to the Cancun or Riviera Maya. There's some really good deals on it. It's not a sponsorship pitch or a timeshare kind of a pitch or anything like that. You sit through, there's not blackout dates. They're just really great vacations in a great location. You get yourself there and enjoy something great as a thank you for helping out and helping us to bring these productions to life at Family Fun Experience Theater for thousands of families every year.
Absolutely. And the only thing that the certificate or the donor would have to pay for on these trips is just their airfare, which, thank you to Breeze Airways out of Norfolk, you can now fly direct to Cancun. You don't have to make a stop anywhere. You can fly direct, which is makes life easier. And of course, airfare and any applicable taxes. But other than that, you've got your donation levels 100, 150, 200. Check it out. And they're good for 18 months. That's the beauty of it. So, guys, donate.
I know we're planning a trip.
There you go. Donate. Support the theater. And now, along with that, in May, you're also doing something else for fundraising.
Yeah, we have looked at different things. And even though, in addition to our shows, we host hundreds of events here every year, between everything from birthdays, parties to full-blown weddings. Mm-hmm. We found we're not really great at putting on events for ourselves because we put all the things into what we're doing for other people's events first. And so we were thrilled to partner with Aaron and some others in creating, from his background, a celebrity grudge match golf tournament. And so golf tournaments have sort of become common in a lot of different ways. And so we needed something really distinctive and also something that would be a good draw. And we were just thrilled to be able to partner with him and bringing out some sports professionals and be able to bring people into playing a round of golf with them. So we just love games, and golf is just another big game. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
The event will be Monday, May 18th. There'll be a pairings party Sunday night, the 17th. The event will be held at the Virginia National Beach Golf Course down on Princess Anne Road, which is about 5 miles from where I currently sit. And I'm thankful to actually have an event that's really close to my house for a change.
It's a beautiful course too. Yeah.
But yeah, check it out. The website registration site will be available very, very soon, by the way, which is great. And once we have that ready to go, then I know Tim will post it. We'll, of course, blast it all over social media. So if you want to play golf, whether you're a golfer or not, but you want to support the cause, we have ways that everybody can help support this event and provide the funding to, as Tim said, to continue providing the thank you, John, to provide the shows that people have grown accustomed to. Now, obviously, do your show themes change based on time of year and like the audience coming in? Like summertime, we know we're going to have a lot of travelers and a lot of visitors. versus the
Right.
winter time where you're dealing more with just pretty much the locals that exist here. Does the calendar really affect the type of shows you show at different times of the year?
It affects it in some ways. Obviously, holidays. We tend to almost every holiday of the year, including Groundhog Day this last year, we've had a special show about that thing. So I'm trying to figure out a leap year show this year.
Showing the same show over and over and over.
Either a game show or sometimes it's a mystery or a different show that fits in with Thanksgiving or different kinds of holidays or New Year's. So the holidays definitely affect things.
Sure.
The Christmas, Thanksgiving to Christmas kind of holidays, as well as the summer, are some of our busiest times a year. So there's a more frequent schedule then. When we say theater, one of the other differences, most theaters you look at, there's 4 or 5 shows on their schedule for the year, and that's the only weekends you can catch a show there.
Right.
We do live interactive shows, different ones every single week year round. So for Restaurant Week, we had like 10 different events scheduled, and only one of those or 2 of those was a repeat of anything. So we keep these shows going of all these different varieties all year round. And it's not just locals. In this season, we do call it our local season, but this 30-40% occupancy in these hotels down here, we see visitors from all over the world, really, any time of year. We had some people in from Germany last week. And in the middle of summer, it's still about half locals that come down to the beach. We just have much more frequent shows where we're doing pretty much every night of the week, and then some matinees as well.
Right. No, that's good. I love that the flexibility is there, and when you have this kind of facility, you're not really restricted by outside forces in terms of management and the people up in the ivory tower. And okay, John. Okay, thanks, John. So you really can manage everything the way that you see fit for your audience. All right. What I want to do, John, if you would pop up, let's talk about the event we have coming up on February 1st before we say goodbye. We're going to let Tim go at the bottom of the hour. So, John, if you could pop up the flyer for Champions. And there we go. So this is the date has not been changed because we made this decision very quickly going into this weekend because of the pending weather. It is scheduled for next Sunday, February 1st, 6 p.m. at the theater. At the Family Fun Experience Theater that we've been talking with Tim about. Go to ffxshow.org, click on shows. Is that right? Is it the shows tab or tickets tab?
Sorry.
Did you just lose your lights? You got
no. I sat too still. We have automatic lights in the green room here. So
that happens in my studio, down to my office studio too. But the tab for tickets, does it say tickets or shows or schedule?
ffxshow.org is where it's the center for everything, and then you'll see a flyer for that right there. Click on that and you can get right to the tickets for it.
So Here's the beauty of this, folks. This is a show specifically designed to give back to veterans and wounded warriors, and it really is a thank you for everybody. There's no admission fee. Let me repeat that. There's no admission fee, but we do ask that even though we were supposed to do this tomorrow as part of Restaurant Week, we are going to ask that when you come on the 1st to hear our guests, which are actually, they're in the green room. I'll bring them in a second so that you can say hello to them, Tim. The only thing that really the theater asks for, just purchase a drink, some food or something, because there's no admission fee. So we want you all to come down because we have very special guests that'll be part of this. Live in person that I will be interviewing along with, I think, one other host that's going to be joining us here is former heavyweight champ James Bonecrusher Smith. And then we're also going to be video connecting in former heavyweight champ Ray Mercer. So if you're a fan of boxing, if you're new to boxing, if you want to check out the history of boxing, we've got the crew for that. So again, that's February 1st, 6 p.m. With that, before I say goodbye, John, let's bring in Coach Chuck Hatcher and the champ Bonecrusher Smith to say hello to Tim. Gentlemen, my goodness, what an honor to have Coach Charlie Hatcher with us. Champ Bonecrusher, Tim, these are your guests next Sunday. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
Hey, happy to be here with you, Aaron. Of course, we're looking forward for a long and prosperous simulcast with your up and very popular. It's good that you done moved in from Vegas. There's something else for Virginia to be able to have your prize for that, I'm quite sure. And we're happy to be able to bring the greatest sports legends of Sports Inside and Out to your collaboration and giving us a voice there in the Hampton Roads area through Sky 4.
Absolutely.
And of course, we are using you as our proxy for all of our great 300 plus of the greatest sports legends in the world. We're happy to be the voice of legends of sports, and also collaboration with our National Basketball Retired Players Association members that we are part of, and also with the great Hall of Famers of the heavyweight champion division, the NFL alumni, the greatest track and field legends of all time. We got a great montage of the greatest sports legends in the world. Here in the world. And Bone, of course, he's the man. I've been knowing Bone so long. I've been looking at that giant fist for so many years. We go back a long ways to Al Sharpton and the guys. Bone, I know this is going to be good because both of us, and with Ray, are veterans. Yep. We really appreciate it.
I am excited beyond excited that we get to start this collaboration off with the Champ. Champ, thank you for joining us this morning as well. Man, you look like you could still go at least a couple of rounds today, man. I wouldn't want to be caught up in an alley with you, dude. How are you, sir?
I'm 72 years old, and boxing is in my past and in my dream.
Well, listen, you have a storied past that I'm looking forward to getting into when we meet in person next week. We'll talk a little bit about it here. But I'm glad you guys jumped in a few minutes early because I wanted you to meet Tim Ritter. He is the co-founder with his wife and family members of the theater that we're going to be doing this at next week. And I thought it'd be good if we have a few minutes because I do have to send Tim off here when we go to break. He's got a show to get ready for at his theater at the top of the hour. So, Tim, say hello to the gentleman that we'll have in person next week, man.
Yeah, hi James, and hey Coach Charlie. We are looking forward to seeing you guys in person.
Pleasure's ours. We got our production. Max Zilla is here with us, checking us out. We look forward to a long relationship down here in Virginia Beach. Aaron, we have complete confidence and support for what we're trying to do because he is truly a legend within his own realm.
In my own mind, I'm a legend within my own mind.
Hey, well, we all are. Except for Champ, he's something else. I'm gonna tell you, you're looking for a great show and a great orator, a great veteran representative, and Tim, I think it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to see about how we can collaborate through Aaron with more things to bring the greatest sports legends in Virginia Beach from around the world. And let Bone go. Bone, go to it, Bone.
Yes, sir. It's my pleasure, and I hope it don't be a knockout.
Oh my! No, we want it to be a knockout. We want it to be a home run. We want to knock this show out. So.
Well, it might be a knockout.
Hold that fist up again, would you please? I want to look at that paw. That's a paw. That's not a that's oh my God. I don't want to be anywhere near that zip code with that thing. All right, listen. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour break. We're going to say goodbye to Tim. He's got a show to get ready for in 30 minutes. Tim, thank you for joining us a little bit this morning. We are excited to be part of the theater next Sunday with Champions for Champions. But Champ, Coach, stay there. We're going to put you off into the green room while we go to break. And as part of our break, we're going to run a couple of commercials. And on the backside of it, we got a three-minute little video, folks, to give you a little flavor as to some of Bone Crusher's history and the people that he has actually fought in the ring as we talk about and get ready for Champions next week. Tim, thank you again for joining us, everybody.
All right, Tim. Thank you.
You are watching Aaron's Arrows. Man, I got a cast of champions that are joining me the rest of the way. We're all champions, but I got a heavyweight champ. I got a sports champ with Coach. I'm just all excited. I can't get my brain in gear with my mouth. We'll be right back.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest, dear.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision.
I won't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh, yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
James Bone Crusher Smith.
Welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I am absolutely honored and tickled pink to have my Saturday and have former heavyweight champ James Bone Crusher Smith and the legendary Coach Charlie Hatcher from Sports Inside Now joining me this morning to talk about the event we have going on February 1st here in Virginia Beach at FFX Family Theater that we just had Tim Ritter on. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Champ, 1981 is when you won that belt in the legendary Madison Square Garden. But I got to ask you, you watched that 3-minute video. There you are, Mike Tyson in the black trunks. You're pounding on him. Larry Holmes. what does it feel like to see yourself, to watch that video? What kind of goes through your mind? Like, man, I was great back then. Now, I mean, what emotions? What's happening as you watch that video?
It was 1986.
Okay.
And when I won the title, but I watch it now and I still get excited about it. I mean, I said, is that me? Did I do that? Wow.
81 is when you started your boxing career, so I mixed the dates up on that. I apologize. Yeah. But what I find what's interesting is that you got your start in boxing while in the military. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah.
And Ray Mercer also got his start in the military. What is it with boxing careers that get started while in the military? Is it the discipline of being in the military that translates so well into the boxing career?
If you show that you have talent, then the military, the Army military will they'll search out for you, and they give you special duty, and a lot of times it's just box or what sport it is, and that's a good deal for them, and it's a good deal for us too.
Right on. Okay, I just think it's great. That the translation of skill set just seems to work so well with so many careers getting started while in the military and whatnot. Coach Hatcher, your background is legendary as well. How did you meet the champ? How did you you said
Lord, long time.
He wasn't chasing you down, was he?
I mean, celebrity tournaments, we got involved, and we all, of course, the linkage and the camaraderie of the veterans was pretty much. And James was actually in the genesis of our Champion for Champions initiative, started many years ago with my son Charles, and since then, I mean, we're talking a good little while, and he's been really, I would say, at the zenith of supporting veterans and wounded warriors, because that was our real genesis of our program, the WTC Wounded Warrior Program and the veterans. We traveled all over to the VA facilities around the country, and we've been overseas and Guam and all that, and it's just so important for us to give back. And not only that, it's the tip of the spear for other of our dear friends who've been on tour with us, Ed Too Tall Jones, Billy Joe Dupree, Doug Williams, Oscar Robertson, Julius Irvin, all of the guys that are a member of our really montage and collaboration of great legends. We are in support of this Champion for Champion initiative, bringing the greatest sports champions of the world to our champions of our nation, the military, our veterans and wounded warriors. And that's what Bone is so adamant about. He's been the tip of the spear in one of our star childs. Matter of fact, at the VA facilities, he is one of the most sought after ones because of his military background and the way he puts his gear into one straight ahead. He's a straight ahead guy. Yeah.
Especially in a town like Virginia Beach and really the whole Hampton Roads area, we have the naval base, we have all of that here. This is about as military a town as you could get because of the history of this area dating back 250 years when, when all the Revolutionary War and independence and all that started, to the point now where, the Navy, shipyards are here and whatnot. Yeah. So this is a town that is truly designed to have programs to honor all military, fallen heroes, past, present, families thereof. How long has the initiative of Champions for Champions been out there that you've been, doing stuff for this?
Well over 30.
Oh, okay.
I would say closer in and around at that point, and it started off, of course, with our just before the 9/11.
Okay.
And it really, really came out and took off at that particular interim in our nation's history, and it started right in the Hampton Roads area at Fort Eustis.
Oh, okay.
That's right. And matter of fact, my career, being from the Hampton Roads area, my career started and was expedited after I made high school All-American during the Vietnam era. I went into the military with one of my co-partners, Mike Barrett, who was on the same trajectory as I was, and with Bone. Him, Mike Red, Darnell Hillman, all of us started in the military doing that what you call that trajectory of time, and of course came out to have fantastic careers utilizing it, because after the Olympic trials, that kicked off a lot of our careers after the 68 Olympic trials. Yeah.
Sure. I want to, I'd be remiss if I didn't send a shout out to the folks up at Sky 4, Amanda, Kathy, Samantha, Tom Powers, and the crew, because if it wasn't for me meeting them in September up in Suffolk at a business expo and chatting with them, I would not have had the opportunity to coach to chat with Coach.
Well, nothing's by accident. Nothing's by accident.
That's very true.
In this universe, everything is destined. So, you know,
since moving here, I'm here a year and a half, and I've met some great people and getting involved in some great projects in a year and a half. I've done more and connected with more people in the year and a half since I've been in Virginia Beach than I did for 20 years out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, Vegas being what it is. Champ, I want to come back to you for a second. You had 62 total fights. You were great enough, obviously, to become a heavyweight champion. 44 wins, 32 of them by knockout. I mean, that's a pretty hyper. That's like well over 80% success of just knocking your opponent out. Which knockout of the 32 stands out most to you in your mind as either most surprising that you were able to knock out said opponent, or how easy it was to knock it out? What knockout was the one for you that you were just like most proud of, if there's a way to be proud of a knockout?
Well, when I knocked out Turtleton Witherspoon in the first round, Madison Square Garden, and what a lot of people on HBO, what a lot of people don't know is I only had 7 days notice, was about the fight. I was in shape, and I was a replacement for Tony Tubbs. So he pulled out of the fight, and Don King called me, and he said he had a title shot for me. And I said, when is it? He said, next week. And I knocked him out in the first round.
Right. You know what? There's a lot to be said. I mean, I think we see that in all sports. Whenever there's a change of opponent last minute, one side or the other is not prepared, and things like this happen, right? I mean, it's not unheard of. You know, like for instance, the NFL, right? Tomorrow night, the Broncos, you don't have Bo Nix, you have Jared Stidham stepping in. You know, are the Patriots really going to be prepared for him? So I think in a way that will probably work to your advantage that Witherspoon didn't have a chance to really prep for you.
Well, it was kind of a disadvantage for both of us. I mean, normally a person don't take a fight on a 7-day notice.
Sure.
That's kind of ridiculous in a way.
But it worked out, though. It worked out in your favor, though.
It worked out in my favor, yes, sir.
I have to ask. You bring up the legendary Don King. He was a figure well beyond what we saw on television. What was it like to work with a promoter like Don King? I have to ask, because people are like, Don King. So what was he like? Well,
to give me a 7-day notice, I mean, that says a lot right there. But he was unique. He knew his business, and he was outrageous.
Yeah. I think that's it. So how long did it really take him to prep his hair? That's like you and I, and probably Coach Hatcher, we probably have the same non-issue with hairlines nowadays. But I mean, how long did it take him to really get that style to go up? I mean, they didn't have hair gel that often back then.
Well, I've seen him comb it up,
Yeah.
I've seen him do that, so I don't know exactly how long it took.
God, he was a character, and he was perfect for that time, I think, in the boxing, sport at that time. Would you agree with that? I mean, there's nobody like him now out there.
That's right. He was unique.
Absolutely. Did you ever cross paths with Howard Cosell, who was also very involved with Ali and King and all that? Were you ever interviewed by him? Did you have an opportunity to sit with him?
Yes, once or twice. Yes.
What was he like?
Oh, he was unique as well. It was, he was something else. But his favorite guy was Muhammad Ali. He could talk about Muhammad Ali.
Absolutely. Did you ever have a moment where you ever wanted to reach across and just take his toupee off his head or something? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. All right, listen, we're up against our third break of the show. I've got to step aside and pay those bills. More with these great individuals joining us. When we come back, we're going to talk more again about the February 1st event. We'll pop the flyer back up, plus whatever else these guys want to plug upcoming and whatever else we can do here. You're watching Aaron's Hour. What a treat for my audience and for myself to be chatting with these guys. Don't go anywhere. More with the champ of two levels, boxing and just being in the sports arena himself, Coach Hatcher, Bone Crusher Smith. John, take us a break. We'll be right back. Is your credit card debt getting you down? When that student loan payment is due, does your cable bill go unpaid? Are you ready to throw in the towel because you do not know how to financially survive? The Miliari Group is ready to educate you on how to get out from under the pile of debt and retire as a tax-free millionaire. They eliminate student and credit card debt and help families set their kids up for success. For more information, call 956-532-2349 or email williamsastria961@gmail.com or scan the QR code to meet with us. The first 100 calls will receive a free will. So, call 956-532-2349 or scan the QR code now and learn how to become the millionaire you always dreamed to be.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh, yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Men, are you disappointing your partner in the bedroom? Let's cut to the chase. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? 50% of men between the ages of 40 to 70 experience some form of ED. If you are experiencing ED, there is help without pills or needles to even worry about. Coastal 757 Aesthetics has new technology for men called Apex RF. Apex RF is a modern, non-invasive treatment that uses radio frequency to strengthen tissue from the inside out, resulting in better blood flow to the penis and a happier life partner. Call Coastal 757 Aesthetics at 757-481-4036 for a free consultation. That's 757-481-4036. Coastal 757 Aesthetics. Care for all phases of life.
All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hours. We're getting ready for a cold and blustery weekend here in the Hampton Roads area, really all across the country. Looking at the weather, they've downgraded some of the snow we're going to have here to maybe only a couple of inches, but it's 22 degrees the last time I looked, and that's a wind chill of about 9. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing my show today out of my home, and I'm staying in other than maybe a quick visit to my father-in-law afterwards. But, gentlemen, I want to ask, Coach, talk about your show that you do. I'd be remiss if we didn't give a pop for what you do on the air as well and highlighting the significant star athletes that you are privileged to work with as well.
Well, you know, the Sports Inside and Out, of course, is the genesis of many of the support and launching and cause marketing platform for all the great legends of sports. Mm-hmm. It was started by myself and, of course, co-host Wally Jones, on the Hall of Fame guard of Philadelphia 76ers, greatest team in NBA history, first 35, 50 years. And, of course, with Wally, who was the major point guard that ever was a point guard for 6 of the greatest centers in NBA history, starting from Wilt Chamberlain on. So it was from that, and then with just collaboration from all of our great friends over the years, and through the ABA, and and coming in through the genesis of what we did, and then we started collaborating in Nick Nicolosi, the NFL charities and NBA, and then of course Bone started opening up, was a proxy for all of our heavyweight champions department of sports inside and out. And then we have the great John Carlos, Bob Beeman, Jackie Joyner Kersey. All of these are the head up our track and field component of it. And we have all of these guys who have the same mindset of giving back and having a cause marketing platform, because we're the last. We were there to help what professional sports is as of today.
Right.
Because of the blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifices that we went through. These guys are making the millions of dollars now that they are, because believe me, I've seen and been tutored and supported, even with my stepson, Dominique Wilkins, one of the top 14 greatest of all scoring in the NBA, sure. 50 great. So, it comes to a point that we became the voice of the legends of sports for those that help make the game. That's our primary thing. And believe me, we've started a lot of great careers,
Oh, no doubt. And I like the way you use the word "the voice of," because now you officially have the voice as part of your team here.
Absolutely, because now we bring it up. If you want to hear knowledge and history and the sacrifice and trajectory of success and what it takes to be successful, that's what our mission statement is.
Absolutely.
We bring it to you. If you want to be a great boxer, who else to be? Bone Crusher Smith.
Looks like his feed just froze there. Oh, there we go.
You see, that's Bone Crusher Smith.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of what you call the zeniths of the game as far as stories, not just here, but around the world.
Absolutely. There's a dear friend of mine in Las Vegas who just jumped into the chat room. And Champ, I don't know if you can see his comment there on the screen, but I'll read it so that Coach hears it. Thomas Glenn, we call him Chief. He's also military as well. He says, hey, do they accept 73-year-old players?
Oh, yeah.
He also says, Will, Luscious Jackson, Wally Jones, Hal Greer, right. Dr. J, Chet the Jet, and some guy named Cunningham. The great team. Glad I got to see them. That's who he
Greatest
got.
Team. That's right. That's right. Billy and Wally and Billy, and of course a lot of our guys have gone. We lost Chet and let them lost Big Lou. So Wally and Billy Cunningham, and I think a few of the guys are still around. We treasure to be able, because they're losing. We got to have these. Our dearest friend was the rivalry of Sam Jones was a dear friend. We've known a long time, Sam, and the greatest two forwards in the game, Sam Jones. This guy, we started Sports Inside and Out with Sam Jones, Wally Jones, Bone Crusher Smith. We had Too Tall Jones. We had all the great Dallas Cowboy, and of course the Washington Redskins' greatest rivalry in football at that time. So we came a long ways and helped a lot of careers, including our great friend Doug Williams. We brought him back to make sure he was relevant and appreciated, and God bless him. He's now doing very, very well. He's back within the organization, doing well because of Joe Gibbs. And I mean, we have a lot to be proud of. And we got a lot way more to give, because we're chronologically gifted, as Wally said.
Absolutely.
So we're here. Mike Tyson said the hardest he ever been hit in his life was when Bone put him down with that big giant thing they call a fist. It was a glove. It wasn't a fist. It was a glove for
Right, I
him.
was going to say, don't they call that a ham hock? Isn't that what it's called? Is that what it is? John, if you could please let's put up those couple of pictures that we have of Champ. There we go. Speaking of Mike Tyson, there's the Champ there, kind of taking it to him. And I mean, that's legendary. I mean, we know Mike Tyson's, position in boxing history. Champ, what was it like to face him? Was he, I guess he was as ferocious as he was in the ring that people described him to be, yeah?
Yeah, he was a little different. He's short. I was 6'4". He was 5'10", so a lot of my shots went over his head, and then he ducked down a lot too. So, and he was very quick, very fast, but it was tremendous fighting.
When I watched the video yesterday that we showed earlier that Coach sent to me, I watched it. Your power, you literally, the way I would I would feel the power. You literally kind of wound up to bring that power in that right hemlock of yours. And just watching the video, I felt the power as you brought that right across. Is that the way you designed that power punch? Was real? I mean, a lot of the quick power for a lot of boxers is that quick punch. You wound up behind your ear with that. Was that by design?
Yeah, I was trying to get him off balance there a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. See, I picked up on that, Champ. I picked up on that. I
You
saw
did.
that coming. I felt
Yeah.
the power just watching the video, for crying out loud. John, do we have another picture to show? I think there we go. There's the Champ with the belt. I mean, what better? And I like the way this shows on the screen because we got the Champ today next to his picture. Dude, you really haven't changed much other than, maybe the gloves on your hand, but you still look prime and ready to go, Champ.
Well, thank you very much. I'm 72 years old. I feel a little different now.
Unfortunately, that does happen to all of us. All right, real quickly as we wrap up, John, please bring up the flyer for next week again so we can review that with the audience. This is the flyer. Please note that the date on this flyer has changed. It is not tomorrow because of the weather. It is next Sunday, February 1st, 6 p.m. FFX Family Fun Theater located on 16th between Atlantic and Pacific, right on the Virginia Beach water. This is next week. The Champ's going to be there. We're going to have Ray Mercer joining us via Video Connect. We're going to have two great champions doing this. Also, I believe Bone Crusher, you're bringing some shirts, maybe some pictures, the belt, whatever. The folks can take pictures with you, buy some memorabilia. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right. Well, you can pony me up for some stuff. I'm going to definitely want to make sure I grab some shots with you and Coach and everybody that's there to add to my repertoire. I'm excited. It's all get out to meet you guys finally in person. We've talked a lot on phone, on video, as we are today, but I'm as excited as a sports fan. I have to draw the line between trying to be professional when I'm with you because God knows inside, I'm inside like, oh my God, it's a Champ. It's like I'm meeting the Beatles. So you have to understand, I do have to, balance that, but I'm excited to have you guys in person next week. Coach, thank you for everything that you.
All right, now turn it over to Bone. Bone, close it out for us, big time.
Take us home, Bone.
It's gonna be a knockout.
We'll see you next time right here in Aaron's Hour. Thank you, guys.
All right, okay.